Thank you for watching my video. My name is Kei Nishimura, Ascension Technologist, Psychic Psychologist from Galactic Federation Lightworker School. Today, I'd like to talk about another HSP stuff. What should HSP, highly sensitive person, empath, sensitive do in terms of coping mechanism against narcissists and sociopaths? So just this is a recap. Who is HSP, empath and sensitive? I'm going to talk about a little bit more in details today, especially about HSP, highly sensitive person. It is analyzed by one of the psychologists. She thinks 20% of the entire population is HSP. It may be possible, it may be so. But there are two aspects, positive aspect and negative aspect of HSP. So the positive aspect of HSP is, it's the same contents from the previous video. They can sense emotions, thought, and energies deeply. They have enhanced five sensor abilities than normal. They have high empathy, compassion, and kindness. They understand others' feelings and needs, and they want to help people in trouble and needs. And especially the last two sentences in yellow, this is not so much about HSP, it's more like about empath. They are very insightful, observing. They can detect lies and gaps because they look at people's behaviors a lot. Then they also have sometimes awakened psychic senses. However, some characteristics of a narcissistic and sociopath things I'm going to talk about to explain about negative aspect of HSP. So some characteristics of narcissists and sociopath are exploitative, calculative, and selfish. They are money and success driven. They want to go up social ladder. They don't really care about other people. They are controlling, manipulating. They tell lies. They have a huge entitlement. And they're not listening to you, not interested in others. They have no empathy to other people. But underlying issue is they have a deep loneliness, but they are not going to talk about it. They have a fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. They are very wounded, and they have a huge hunger for acknowledgement and approvals. But in order to cover these, they have a huge inflated ego, and then they want to show off how wonderful and how rich they are, and they talk about then their success. So it's all about them. So this characteristic is called a grandiose narcissist characteristics. They are also emotional vampire. They are attention seeking, and they try to get validation from you and others. And after you're spending time, if they are emotional vampire, you get very tired if you don't have that energetic, protection. And there are some of the, the worst narcissists are called malignant narcissists. So mean, vicious, cold, and threatening, and they don't mind to insult you in public. It happened to me before. It was really mean. Okay, so based on these characteristics, I also want you to think about negative aspect of HSP. HSP is an emotional sponge, so they absorb negative energies without self-care. So if they don't do self-care and release all the, the sponge, the absorbed negative energies and emotions, they can become a negative energetic vampire. I saw them. They, like a bitch and moan, like, for on and on and on, like for, 2 or 3 hours, and they get drained. You get drained. And HSPs can become an attention seeker, like narcissist. So it's like a negative narcissist or like an angry narcissist. They become very angry. So, what HSP and also empath need is self-care. So some coping tactics, but not all of them here, just partial. What can HSP and empath do? So they are very sensitive, but it doesn't mean this is like, illness and such. It's not a mental illness. But like being sensitive means to men, they may feel, they are too weak or emotional. And, by social norm, it's not really accepted, isn't it? But more and more, it's getting more accepted. So it is only a character. It's not a, illness and such. However, if you feel down or depressed for long, more than 2 weeks or more than, for 3 months, it may be depression or anxiety. So you may, want to go to a GP. And if you're HSP or empath, you need to say no to things or to people you don't want to, accept. And you do not force yourself to do things you don't want to do. But for empath and HSP, because they understand people's emotions really deeply, it's difficult for them to say no because they feel narcissist, emotions like they're feeling down or loneliness, and they can catch it, they can sense it, but it doesn't help HSP and empath at all. So you need to select positive and supportive people around you. Avoid negative people, covert narcissist and sociopath. So, if you meet maybe this person is a narcissist or sociopath, you can just say, maybe, therapy is available. You can just suggest them. But, do not interact with them deeply. Otherwise, once they show their true nature, they're going to hurt you or destroy you. Okay. So, what you need to do is step back and notice abusive or narcissistic or sociopath patterns. There are some, red flags, and I'm not going to talk about these red flags in public. But if you come to my, one-to-one session, I can detect that, while you're telling me, what sort of situations you are in. I can tell you that's, the sign, or, that may not be a sign. So remember, it's case by case. Not everyone is a narcissist. Not everyone is a sociopath. But if you are troubled by some people, and if you have some kind of patterns over years, there is highly likely, situation you may be troubled by narcissist and sociopath as a doormat. So HSP and empath people, they need self-care. So coping tactics is a self-care, and they also need, tactics and strategies. They need to have emotional tactics. They need to have emotional tactics. They need to have physical tactics if you are having domestic violence. Then not only that, additionally, energetic tactics. That's what you need to have. And something else is also needed, which is invisible. So, for example, if you are dealing with a narcissist or a sociopath, and if you reject them, or if you say no, or if you already understand how their patterns are, because they are not, stupid people most likely. So they may, psychically attack you. That can happen quite a lot. They can stalking you physically, and invisible stalking can happen. They may revenge you in many different ways. Sexual harassment, it happened to me. Power harassment, it happened to me. Moral, harassment, it happened to me as well. So, you can cope with these invisible energetic attacks by narcissists if you don't know how to protect you energetically. And HSP and empath can't stand strongly without protecting you energetically, especially if you are aware of you are empath. You definitely need to have an energetic protection because they're going to be invading into your auric field and try to control you. And you feel more depressed, okay? If that happens, you have an energetic invasion. So, for example, of the effect of energy sessions, if you receive as a coping mechanism, I usually offer cord cutting and release control and sexual calls. That's number one because usually it's hooked into a certain area. I detect then and then release it, and then after that, my client feels much better and lighter. Depressive feeling, anxiety, and crying feeling and angry can be gone, really, really gone. They also have an auric invasion. It should be removed, and then you have less or like no influence of psychic attack or auric invasion anymore. And you also need to have an aura protection. You can stop psychic invasion and psychic attack. And then if their anger, narcissistic anger, is very strong, something funny can happen to you. One of my friends experienced the bird was, actually, it was dying at the ventilation. So that was very scary thing to see it. And in my case, when I had a psychic attack, I fell down from staircases once. I slipped at staircases twice. And when I opened up the cupboard, my one or two dishes, came, fell off and it got broken. So when I, have a psychic attack, I know there is a physical symptom sometimes. And then like this, like material, like phenomena actually can happen. And analysis of negative affect by narcissists, especially their behaviors and gaslighting onto you. You need to be consulted by a psychic consultant. Otherwise, you may not be able to, see how you are manipulated by them because narcissists and sociopath, they are very good at controlling and twisting things and manipulating your mind. So, for example, one of the princes coming from the UK, he may be experiencing a lots of gaslighting. And that's why, he published a book and disclosed lots of privacies. And then, it's not only a, privacy invasion, attacking his own family. So that sort of thing can happen after you are gaslighted so much. So after having, the energetic sessions, the positive effects are anxiety can be gone or become lower. And you can be free from thinking of the idiots or narcissist. And you are free from the conversational performance of conversational narcissist. And energetically, it is clear and energetic hijack is gone. And your brain is much clearer. And your emotion can be, lighter, and you feel more, happier because you can be very depressive under attack. So this is just one of the example, okay? The HSP, empath, and psychic people are healers. They need to have a certain training at each level to heal themselves and protect themselves from a narcissistic attack or narcissistic sociopath. And remember, if you are a healer and if you are providing energetic sessions, sometimes if you are treating client who is receiving psychic attack or demonic attack, if you don't have a proper protection on to you, you're gonna get attacked, okay? And you get actually physically down. So that's why, I am saying psychic and healers, they need a proper protection against narcissist and sociopath attacks, because it's real. And if you think you may have a narcissistic tendency, or a sociopath, or if you're a narcissist, or if you have NPD, what you need is self-awareness, you need healing, you need treatment, and you also need to have a good model to behave better. Underlying issue is, I quite often find in narcissistic clients or mental illness clients, they have the deep loneliness by rejection, many repeated rejections, and then betrayals sometimes. Then these are very private, so you may not want to talk about these to your friends, because today's friends can be your enemy tomorrow if you're a sociopath, because you may not be surrounded by nice people. Okay, so you can come to my website, Galactic Federation Lightworker School's website. I can treat empath and narcissist and sociopath in a different way with compassion. And uk.gfls.co.uk and psychic and transformation consultation. That may be the first one you may want to have, or you can come to to the class 1, level 1 straight ahead, and you can clear the energy and you can protect your aura, and you can learn how to clear your energy field by a specific meditation. And you can also have a cold cutting session from energetic vampire and narcissist. If you're a lady, you can have a sacred womb healing and feminine energy activation, because maybe you have been a dormant for years. You need to be treated and you need to have a healing session for that. Otherwise, there is also a class specifically how to deal with the narcissistic psychic attack and then energetic vampire. So have a look and come to my website. And yeah, thank you for listening today. If you liked my video, please like it, and then please post your comment about how you are protecting yourself and your experiences, if you can share that. And then if there is any good tactics that you tried and worked, or it didn't work, if you could share, that would be great. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.